Here are the top 5 sports cars you can buy for under $10,000. So you join me today in my 1984 Porsche 944, which I purchased for just $3,200. But I'm about to sell the car, and when I upgrade, I'm looking for a budget of around $10,000 to $12,000. So I compiled a list for you guys of all the cars that not only I am considering, but you should as well if you're looking to get something in that same price range. Starting the list off at number 5 is the Hyundai Genesis Coupe. Now this is a sporty Korean roadster that's available with 2 different powertrain options, a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder at 274 horsepower or a 3.8-liter V6 at 348 horsepower. And best of all, it's available with a 6-speed manual transmission for the real enthusiasts out there. Now I see the Genesis Coupe around at car events all the time. There's actually a really good aftermarket crowd for this car, so if you want to get something you could tune or modify and that's still going to be comfortable and daily drivable, I think this is a great car for you. However, it's based on the same chassis as the Genesis luxury car, so as far as the sportiness of it, it might not be the fastest on this list. But that's okay, because the next car on our list is pretty fast. It's the Volkswagen Golf GTI Mark 6. This is the 6th generation of the Golf GTI, and that means it's a little bit older on the used side, and that means it's cheaper. But it does come with a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine at 200 horsepower, and of course it comes with a 6-speed manual transmission, just like the Genesis Coupe. And this is a great practical car for a young enthusiast like myself, because not only do you get the practicality of the hatchback, but it's also available with 4 doors if you prefer. And speaking of 4-door sports cars, the next one in our list is the 3rd-gen Audi A4. This car was available with either a 3.2-liter V6 at 255 horsepower or a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder at 200 horsepower. And just like all the other cars on our list up till now, it was available with a 6-speed manual transmission and also all-wheel drive. But the A4 is essentially an entry-level Audi, and that means it's not going to be as comfortable as the next car on our list, the Lexus GS 460. This car comes with a comfortable leather interior with wood trim and plenty of space for everyone, and since it's a Toyota, you're also going to get fantastic reliability. Now you may look at this car and wonder, why is this on a list of sports cars? This is clearly a luxury car. Well, that, my friend, is where you're wrong. This is essentially a sleeper car. That means it looks normal from the exterior, but under the hood you're really packing a punch. In fact, it comes with a 4.6-liter V8 engine, which is pushing 342 horsepower to the rear wheels. And that makes it the most powerful car on this list if you don't count the upper trim levels of the Genesis Coupe. So not only is this car comfortable and reliable, but it's also capable of performing some of the best burnouts out there. And that's why it scores number 2 on our list. And finally, the top tier number 1 on my list of the top 5 cars for $10,000 is the BMW E36 M3. Now obviously, as this is number 1 on the list, it's going to be in the upper level of the budget. Most of the ones I see are around $12,000 to $15,000, but if you find a heavily used version or one that maybe has a lot of miles or needs a little bit of work, they can be found for around $10,000. I've found several of them, in fact. And it comes with a 3-liter straight 6 engine pushing 240 horsepower in the US version of the car. Over in Europe, where they didn't have as strict laws regarding fuel economy and things like that, they did get a little bit more horsepower, but 240 is plenty, especially for a 90s car. But this car isn't just about performance, it's also pretty comfortable in the interior, and of course you get that heritage BMW styling that is just so gorgeous and looks fantastic. You're going to stand out on the road and even at events. But if all these cars seem just a little bit out of your price range, you can also check out my list of the top 5 cars for under $5,000. There's some pretty cool options over there, so you can check it out by clicking on the card right here or right there, somewhere on the screen. Thank you all so much for watching. Remember to leave a thumbs up, comment your thoughts below, and subscribe if you haven't already.